Yeah.
And then you look it up on the chart. So do that C-square.
27.2.
So guys, take a break for a second. Listen up. Here we go.
Equals
This whole first problem,
divided by this.
guys, this whole first problem involves z-scores. So I'm going to put 0 in the middle. The second problem, or the fourth problem magically, involves raw scores. So I'm going to put the real mean in the middle down here. Okay? So z-scores, I'm going to put 0 in the middle because that's what their mean would be. 1.51 is somewhere over there. And the area that I want, and if you have a lot of trouble with inequalities, number one, cry a little bit. And number two, if your variable is on this side, this points you in the direction of the shade. Z is on this side, so which way is that pointing? That way. So that's less than. Right? You got your old alligator on that crap. You remember the alligator? Good. Another way is, which one's less than is the one that looks like an L that had a rough day. Doesn't it look like an L that kind of fell over? No? That's another way that's less than. Okay. So this question wants the area that is below 1.51. That's another way to say this. Area is the same as probability. That's what we've talked about for a while. So how do I interpret this? What's the area below 1.51? That's exactly what this chart tells me. Areas below z-score. So if I look up 1.51, that's the answer. I don't have to do 1 minus this because the question wasn't asking me something else. It's asking me below. So 0.9345. Bang, that's the answer. 9345. Always put areas up here, z-scores down here.
So you kept put unrelated.
Oh, wait. You have a related one?
Yeah, you can't put that, because I put mine down here, but I knew like what the answer was, but I put it down here.
Yeah. You just write the answer, you're okay. But in general, if you're in the middle of a problem, put areas up there, z-scores down there, because they often look like each other. Yes?
Is it okay to round, like, is it like number 4, the first part?
You might.
I would have to round.
To 2 places.
Yeah, okay.
So we're able to use the chart.
Got it.
What's that?
No.
Since we're not using technology, we're okay with the fact that our answers are actually approximations. But in the case of learning shit, it's okay to make that allowance.
No, we don't know
So this one, where's negative 0.96?
This is the z-score.
Oh, shit.
On the left.
Yeah, underneath,
That's
somewhere down here.
the z-score.
You don't have to be perfect.
Shut up.
And this was asking me for the area that's where? Above it. So I want you to really understand, I just drew a representation of the question so that I'm better able to answer the damn thing. So when I look up negative 0.96, I'm not going to just circle that number because the minute I use the z-score chart, I should put it on there under what I just looked up. That's what the chart tells me. So when you look up negative 0.96, what do you get?
Did you get 0.2843?
Yeah, 0.96.
A5.
1685?
Yeah.
Yeah. So down here is 0.1685. As you see how your picture is helping you realize you're not done. Because I just put a number for the opposite of the question. So how do I get this side? 1 minus that, so 0.8315. Is that cool? And again, if you like the shortcut, you can look up positive 0.96 and get the answer directly. If you're not entirely sure about that, forget that it exists. Just do it this way. Trust me. That's not that big of a shortcut anyway. All right, here's one of these that's asking for between 2. You never, ever, ever, ever subtract 2 z-scores. A z-score tells me where I am. If I subtract 2 z-scores, I am now somewhere else. Does that make sense? I want to say that right now because it's one of the easiest things to do is to do that too early. I want to subtract 2 areas to get the middle area. I got to get the 2 areas first. So where does all this stuff go? Negative 3.21 is, of course, way down here somewhere. 1.98. It's up there somewhere. Oh, I see. You're trying to help me with the areas. So 1.98. What area do you get for that? 0.98.
No, 0.97.
0.9761.
0.97. 61.
61.
Okay. 9761.
You get positive, right?
And when you look at negative 3.21,
I'll give you 53 minus 31.
0007. So to get the area in the middle, I just subtract those two. It makes physical sense. You're cutting off the amount where you want to stop. Let that make physical sense. This goes too far. It goes exactly this much too far. So if I subtract them, I get just the middle. So what's 0.961 minus 0.007?
0.9754.
Yeah, 2.70.
5, 4. 5, 4, yes. 7 plus 54 is 61. So what's up? If you got that number and you got that number, you have to get this number. Is everybody cool with that? You guys all right?
No.
You got to trust me right now. If you're not sure about any of these three we've done so far, at least 15 other people feel the same way. It's either a hero if you ask a question. Is everybody cool with these first three? Yes, ma'am. Yes, totally. That's why I shaded up. Yep. So again, anytime you look up a z-score on the chart, it's programmed, set up to tell you the area below. What's the question want? The area exact. The exact opposite area. So that's why I do 1 minus. Yes, 1 minus the below to get the above. I love it. I like it. Sweet. Alright, now we get to the freaky stuff. Now, do you see how the end result of this is an area? And how do we get that area? We got it by, looking up the z-score basically and going into the chart to get the area. If I know the area and I want the z-score, I could just find it and look back out to see what the z-score is that goes along with it. So the chart works both ways. If you know a z-score, I can find an area. If I know an area, I should be able to find the z-score. You just go backwards. So here, you got to remember what the hell that means. It means you are in the 33rd percentile. So where would you be? Am I up here?
Left side. Left side.
Yeah, I'm down here. I'm supposed to have 33% below me. What's below 0? How much? 50%. So there's no way it's up here because then it would have more than 50%. It's supposed to only have 33% below. So of course it's down here somewhere. Where's 0.33? 0.33 is in here. That's the area in there. That's the percentage below the z-score. I don't know what the z-score is yet. That's the question. So you're not supposed to look 0.33 up and get the number in the middle. That doesn't mean shit. This gives me an area and it wants a z-score from it. So when I look up 0.33, I gave you a nice number. Normally you got to get as close as you can. But here, if you look up 0.33 in the middle, because that's where the areas are, you get exactly 0.33 right there. Yes?
So a question with that. You wouldn't round necessarily because it's asking for if it's asking for well, later on it has one the maximum time, it'll put someone in the 14th percentile. So would you round anything that goes to 14? You would use that?
We'll deal with it when we get there.
Got it. Or like in this case though, I mean technically one step to the right, 0.326 would round up to 33%. Would you not do that?
No.
No?
Get as close as you can.
Because if there's an exact value, you just use that.
Because how large is the sample here considered to be theoretically? Infinitely large.
Yeah, okay.
Which means that every percentile is exact. There's no moving around.
Got it.
You like it? All right. So is everybody cool with that, 0.33? And what z-score corresponds to that? Negative 0.44. So if I know a z-score and I can find the area below that z-score, I should be able to take an area below some unknown z-score, look it up, and find the z-score. I have to be able to do it both ways. So that would be negative 0.44. Bam. Now this one is a little more direct. Right? It's not based on percentiles exactly, not the way it's worded. It's got to have 5% above it. So of course, where is that going to be? Down here? No, it doesn't make any sense. It's got to be way up here somewhere, right? You can only have 5% above it. Decent so far? What's the only thing the chart understands though? Understands areas that are, gives me and understands areas that are where? When I look up a z-score, it's the area that is below it. I like it. The picture on it kind of gives that away, right? So is this an area below something? No. What area is below the z-score that I want?
0.95.
If there's 5% above it, there must be 95% below it. Now, some of you guys that understand the shortcut, you can actually use that idea here. But if I look up 0.95, you do not look up 0.95. What mistake am I making right now? 0.95. Ah, I'm looking at z-score. Is 0.95 a z-score?
No, it's an area.
No, it's an area. Areas are inside. Now this one's kind of a neat one. Where's 0.95?
What's 1.65 below it?
Why do you think they have that there? Look, 0.95 is right in the middle. It's right in the middle of 1.64 and 1.65. So it's 1.645. If you just follow the little line, they're like, oh, look what we did for you. We did in the middle of those, 1.645. It's a very often used z-score. 1.645. So that's a z-score that has 5% of a normal curve above it. You guys have been so patient. I've been so evil today. Before we do the rest of this, let's take a break.
Yeah.
Come back 10 after. Still be a little evil.